big part of in preseason camp was finding a punt returner. Is it kind of just open auditions right now?
We've had an open competition, and it's been awesome, actually. I think, this is really third year in the program, having some more bodies that can go back there and compete and having the athletes to go do it. So it's been a great competition. Guys like Brian Edwards and Shy Smith and even young guys like Josh Vann going back there. Nick Harvey, grad transfer. So we got a lot of names in the hat right now, and obviously come September 1, we got to pick one out. But they've been competing.
Right now, Hutz, is it just more important about catching the ball, considering some of the adventures the past 2 years?
Primary, objective number one, is obviously catching and communicating. Being able to communicate, traffic control, we call it, right? I mean, you gotta know when to make those poison calls, when to get everybody away, and you can't allow turnovers. We had 2 turnovers last year, which are unfortunate. We forced 4 as a punt team, and it really helped us, field position wise. So, we got to communicate, but obviously ball security and ball possession is number one.
Will Williams working with that group?
He has worked some back there. Yeah, he has. Coming off that shoulder and getting more comfortable and getting back there. He's also a name in the hat competing back there.
Who else might have a shot at that job? You mentioned the wide receivers.
Keyshawn Nixon's been back there. He did it in the spring. That's kind of it. We got to pull about 5 or 6 guys.
Is Edwards kind of like your ball security guy? He seems kind of big for that role.
Well, but Brian, what's great about Brian is he's ball security. He's great, communicator, all that. But then you get the ball in his hands, he can make you miss and make big plays, obviously, like he does for us on offense. So he's a dual threat guy, just like number one is for us as a kick returner. So it's special to have both.
Will said semi-seriously that you aren't going to utilize the new fair catch rule on kickoffs. Is that something that you guys are lockstep in?
Do you want Debo to fair catch the ball? Me either. Okay? Every chance Debo Samuel can have a ball in his hands and can make a play for us, we're going to give him that opportunity. Obviously, we got to be smart, and we know teams are going to potentially play keep away from him a little bit, but we understand the rule, we know the rule, and we'll use it when we need it. But if we can get the ball in his hands, our guys bust their butts for him, and we know we can make big plays.
How do you combat keep away? How do you combat that game?
Yeah, I mean,
are there ways you can make sure he gets the ball?
Yeah, I mean, there's some schematic things and things we can do to help with that. And that's how we work starting in fall camp. And so we're going to try and put him in the best position to get him the ball.
How excited are you to have him available again to return?
I'm very excited. I'm very excited. It's great to have him back, and it provides energy and some juice to the guys in front of him. And he knows, and he's a very unselfish guy, and talks about the importance of those guys, those 10 guys blocking for him. So, it's a great thing. It's not a one-man unit. It's not a one-man team by any means, but obviously he provides a big play opportunity for us.
Is AJ also working?
He is.
As well?
Yep. AJ's back there. Keyshawn Nixon's back there. Brian Edwards back there. Rico. A bunch of guys are back there. All kind of working. Like I said, Josh Vann. I mean, we got more and more names, which is great, and it's exciting.
How's the kicking competition going?
It's going great. It's amazing what a little competition does. Parker White had a great summer. Really had a good spring, had a great summer, and has stepped up his game. And Shane's come in here and is competing, and so is Wozniak. We got 3 guys who have really made strides and made big improvements, and they're competing at a high level.
With Shane Coleman, I mean, how does he carry himself knowing that he was kind of brought in as a fifth-year guy? And
it's whether it's added pressure or just kind of a different situation. He's a mature guy. He's graduated from college. He's here to compete. He's here to do a job, and he knows that Parker and Wozniak are not going to walk away from it by any means. It's and that's what's great. We're about competition as a team. That starts with Coach Muschamp on down, and it's exciting.
The numbers with Shane weren't exactly the most cosmetic numbers, but what did you see in him to?
A guy that's kicked in college, a guy that's made fourth quarter kicks, that's made overtime winners. Percentage and all that. It is what it is, but he's a guy that's stepped up in big moments for his team in the past, and so bringing him in here to compete is what we were looking for.
How much is in the clubhouse right now?
Come on, man. Come on, man.
How much has
No comment.
Has Sherrod showed you at that dime position?
Sherrod Green's been great since he got here. You know, as a freshman last year, playing a bunch of games for us, we bumped him out to Sam linebacker. He goes in and plays well, you know, throughout the year. And for him to come into his own now, you know, as a sophomore, he's gotten a feel for it. He knows what it takes. You know, what it takes in the meeting room, what it takes, you know, on the practice field. And he's done a great job. You know, got to get Eldridge Thompson back, which he's bumping up his mileage and getting back healthy and getting back right. And the two of them are competing. And Sherrod can play both Mike and dime for us, which is nice. You know.
How close is that competition with Sherrod and Eldridge?
Very close. Yeah, they're competing. You know, El kind of started a little bit of a leg back because of the you know, the hamstring deal, but he's pretty much full go now, and they're going back and forth, you know, competing, and really, you know, it gives me a chance to bump Sherrod over, put El in, and TJ out for a period, and you know, Sherrod steps in and communicates very well, and El can do some things. I mean, he can really run and you know, can do a lot of different things for us. So we got three we're excited about.
Rosendo Lewis have a shot to be that backup middle linebacker this year, or would Sherrod? Do you envision that?
Yeah,
Sherrod's?
that's kind of the question, right? And going into the season, and you know, Rosendo had a great spring. Ernest Jones now cleared to go, is obviously, you know, 7 practices in and competing. So we need to find, you know, really 2 more guys. Damani Staley has stepped up and had a good couple days here in a row. So, you know, I think Rosendo can be that backup Mike, but it's how soon, you know, is the question.
Gordon and Asbury were in there a few days ago saying that it wasn't all Parker last year. Maybe they had some yips as well. What have you worked with them in terms of snap and hold?
Yeah, it's consistency, and that's the name of the game as a specialist, no matter what. You know, it definitely did not all fall on Parker White's shoulders, and you know, we had laces and we had, you know, bad holds and missed spots and all that. So it all kind of combined for, you know, for some ugly numbers, especially over 40 yards. And honestly, on us situationally, putting Parker in a position to kick probably too many field goals outside of 45, outside of 50, you know. And so it was a combination of things. Like I said, they've had a great summer. They've worked together all summer long, and they've come out and done some good things.
With that 40-yard mark, especially if Parker wins the job, is that going to be something on y'all's mind this year?
Yeah, you know, he has the leg. Obviously, he's a strong-legged kid, and kickoffs were especially great. And so, you know, it's not necessarily a concern outside that distance, maybe how much and how many, and honestly, what 4th down is it? Is it 4th and 3? Well, shoot, let's go get it. You know, is it 4th and 9? We got to kick it. You know, I mean, that's going to all come into play as well, working with BMAC and Coach Muschamp.
You're okay mixing and matching kickoff guy versus place kicker if it works out that way?
If it has to happen, yeah. You know, don't love it. Don't necessarily love the starting field goal kicker being the starting kickoff guy, but nowadays it's more and more common, and he has a leg. He can do it.
Is it accurate to say these RPO offenses are primarily targeting linebackers? Are they primarily reading off the linebackers, or is that more complicated?
From what I understand, and not that I sit in an offensive room or know anything about that, but yeah, I mean, from what you can understand, they're obviously putting us in a bind.
So how do you coach your guys against it?
Unless we have a pass responsibility, we're fitting the run. And what I tell my guys is, to me, the RPOs are trying to make us soft. They're trying to make us indecisive, right? Is it a pass? Is it a run? Is it a pass or run? If we've got a run fit, we're going to fit the run. Our job's to fit the run. They don't pay us to cover people. You know, that's T-Rob and the boys and the DB's jobs. You know, we're going to fit the run and not create indecisive, you know, linebackers, which you're not going to play good defense.
Is that part of the success of that offense? Is just, I mean, creating indecision. Even if you make the right decision, if you make it half a second too late, maybe that's not right.
That's 4 or 5 yards. You know, I mean, you hesitate and they hand the ball off and they're on you. So, yeah, I mean, I think so. And again, I got enough of my own problems to you know, worry about RPOs and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's. You can feel the energy in our offense. You can feel the excitement from both our players, our coaches. You know, BMAC's done a great job, and Coach Warner coming in, and just, you know, it's exciting, and it's exciting to have Debo back and Jake another year. You know, we got some tools, man.
With Asbury having that knee, or who are you warming that back up, and are you concerned that could linger into the season?
You know, Matthew Smith. The great thing about not the great thing about a knee injury for Ben Asbury in the spring is that Matthew Smith took every rep in the spring. And he got every rep and really matured. I mean, really did. Had a great spring, competed his butt off, really grew up and took advantage of those reps. And so I feel very confident in him. He's pushing Ben now. Ben's got to knock the rust off and get right. And he's right. He's breathing down his neck right now.
The players we're talking about, a lot of them sleep here overnight. Any coaches sleep here overnight?
If I got out of here at 5 a.m. and had to be back at 5:30, I would go home, touch home, and come back. I would not sleep in my office. So not that I know of. I don't think any coaches are sleeping here.
The stage of life.
Yeah, that's just where I'm at in my life, man. I got 2 kids and a wife. I can't afford to do that. So.
What have you seen from Ernest since he's been able to get on the field?
He's a physical kid, man. He's done a great job. I put him in a bind, learning both Mike and Dime, and put it on him mentally. And he's really grown through it and learning how to practice and just do all the things, running to the ball and getting off blocks. And you can't just be stronger and bigger than the guys you're going against, like he was a lot of times in high school. So he's shown a lot of promise, and he's got to keep coming.
What's it been like watching Bryson transition from a guy that you relied on pretty heavily at that dime spot a couple of years ago to being almost exclusively that strong side buck type?
Yeah, Bryson's got so many tools that can help us win games, and so to put him in the best position possible, whether it's rushing, whether it's dropping, whether it's doing a lot of different things, he can help our defense, and we obviously saw a drop off when he got hurt last year, and so it was a pleasure coaching him, when he was playing the dime, and it's fun watching him now, at Sam Buck and being a productive guy for us.
Does the level of linebacker depth you guys have built sort of allow for that to happen?
Obviously, yeah. I mean, that's kind of where we're at. A year ago, getting Sky back was what it was able to make him move there, and now bringing in these young guys and Sherrod being able to play 2 positions, and it's we've got enough guys, and we've got to continue to develop a 4th and a 5th with Damani and Rosendo and Ernest and those guys. So it's exciting.
With the kind of offenses gearing more toward quick passes that are out pretty quick once the snap's out, how do you guys emphasize sacks instead of maybe just getting and affecting the quarterback?
We talk a lot about we always have, dating back to my first year of working with Coach Muschamp and T-Rob, about affecting the quarterback. We haven't put a major emphasis on sacks. If we can get him off his spot, if we can hit him, if we can knock him down, if we can sack him, those are all ways to affect the quarterback, and that's how we as a defense have talked for a long time.
And is it harder now kind of with the RPOs where that quarterback gets the ball and you don't know if he's going to hold it and anything like that?
I mean, yes and no. Obviously the ball's getting out quicker, more now, but no, there's still opportunities to affect the quarterback and change the picture for him. So, no, I think there's still there. The opportunities are there.
With TJ, is he just
Yep.
the same steady guy?
Steady
or is there
Eddie,
anything
man.
else that you guys can...
No, obviously we've put a lot on him, and starting with T-Rob, myself, and Coach Muschamp, we've put a lot on him to be a leader and step up, but no, TJ is a blue-collar, hard-hat dude, man. He's going to come to work every day. He's had a great camp so far, and he's really taken on that leadership and that, being a vocal guy, whether it's as the mic making calls and checks or, off the field and in the locker room. And so he's going to show up every day and he's going to run and hit. And that's, that's what we need, and that's what we want.
Is he the hardest working guy on the team?
I'll say he is. Yeah, I'll be proud. I'll be proud and say that he is for sure. Definitely. We got a lot of guys working hard, and we got a lot of guys on defense from the D line with Kier Thomas and Javon Kinlaw and Dennis Wonham. I mean, Bryson. We got some guys that understand what it takes to play good defense, and we pride ourselves on effort and toughness, and discipline. Those are the core fundamentals of our team. So, we got a lot of guys that have bought into that.
With the sensitivity of tackling at the next level, the new rules that they're trying to implement, how do you feel you guys have taken tackling here, and how well do you feel like they're trained to avoid hitting with their ground?
We talk about it every day, man, and we keep the head out of it. We that starts day one, and we talk about not stopping our feet, not bending the waist, not dropping our head, see what you hit. Those are all core techniques that we stress progress every single day in the meeting room, and fundamental periods, and then obviously when we go live and scrimmage and go to game day. So, tackling is very important. Keeping the head out of the tackle is very important to us, and keeping everybody safe, and keeping everybody in the game and not kicked out of a game and then on the sideline, which could hurt us.
Zay Brown, I guess it looks like he's with you guys now. Or?
Yeah, he's a guy, kind of a cross-trained guy. He's a guy that I think can do some things at the dime spot to help us out, and so we're trying him out there, and he's come in with the right attitude and right energy, and working his butt off. So it's good. We'll see.
What kind of led to you sort of saying maybe we can kind of work him in there?
I think maybe just the depth at DB. We got other guys that might have made strides and kind of passed him, and so to get him in at the dime spot and give him a chance, give him kind of a new chance on life a little bit, new spot to go compete, and he's came in with the right attitude.
Can freshmen, not speaking of anybody specifically,
Sure.
but freshmen when they come in, if they show that they can just be a core special teams guy, does that mean y'all are going to count on them?
Come on. Yep.
They got too deep.
If you can help us win, then we're gonna we're obviously always gonna do what's best for the kid. But if he's a guy that we've identified through camp that can help us win football games, then Coach Muschamp on down, we're gonna go get that done.